Hello and welcome to Dateline Lagos on Channels Television. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Coming up on the program, Governor Babajide Sanwo Olu partners Norwegian government on energy transition plan, Lagos launches Citizens Gate 2.0, and Lagos state government expresses readiness to construct fourth mainland bridge. The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo Olu has reiterated his commitment to deepen the relationship and, of course, build more partnerships with the Norwegian government in energy, infrastructure, and technology to help create a thriving economy. Governor Sanwo Olu made this comment when he received the Norwegian Minister of Foreign Affairs, Anniken Huitfeldt, at Lagos House in Marina. Take a look.
Having access to constant electricity supply is one area residents of Lagos State expect the government to resolve as soon as possible. The Lagos State government is fully aware of how epileptic power supply is affecting businesses in the state. To address this disturbing issue, it's taking steps to decentralize energy.
For electricity, we are also working with the National Assembly to make sure that it's sort of decentralized. So as it is now, there is little that the states can do apart from intervention. And the challenge is, if a state government buys transformer for a community now, it becomes the asset of the discos, even though the discos did not buy it. So the challenge is, does it make sense? And remember, discos are private organizations. So why should state government be buying things for private organizations? So, but it's metal, those are the conundrum and those are the issues that is being resolved. So we are working with nationals to make sure that states can have input and work with disco. We are lucky in Lagos. The two discos, Eko Disco, Ikeja Discos, are exclusively for Lagos. And therefore, it's easier if we work with them to say, okay, what do you need to generate? If Lagos can generate, say, 1,000 megawatts, I think we'll be fine. But the challenge is, how do you, it must be off-grid. Because if it is on the grid, then it can go anywhere. So Lagos State doesn't want to put in money and then you send it to Ondo State or another state. So it must be for. So how do we ring fence it? So those are some of the challenges that we are looking at. And TCN, working with TCN, we must build mini grids for maybe regions or states or whatever, so that at least each state or each region can come together and determine their own destiny along in terms of the power. So those are the challenges, but we must make sure that we fix those before we are able to move forward.
That's not all. Governor Babajide Sanwo Olu was also partnering with the Norwegian government in the area of energy and technology in order to boost the state's economy. The Norwegian Minister of Foreign Affairs, who paid a courtesy visit to Lagos House Marina, says Norway is ready to contribute to the Lagos energy transition plan.
One thing is to be elected, but it's even more difficult to be re-elected. And I had an excellent meeting this morning with your Commissioner for Energy, and we are trying to do our best to support cooperation between our two countries when it comes to the green transition. We are both oil and gas producing nations, and now we are trying to utilize all this know-how in the green transition. And I'm extremely impressed by your green transition ambitions, so Norwegian companies can contribute to your plan. And the Norwegian Embassy also has a dedicated Lagos action plan, because this is an extremely important city for Norwegian companies, not only now, but also for years before. So we are looking for even more business opportunities and more areas where we can cooperate even closer.
Governor Sanwo Olu believes ensuring clean energy will help Lagos remain resilient to any challenge.
A lot of our people, right, are small, medium businesses, right, and power, electricity, becomes a major veritable tool for their businesses to continue to run very well. So we all agree, that not only do we need clean energy, we actually need, renewable energy, in large, numbers. And I think from a brief, that's why we'll have a large number of cabinet members here. Also in transportation, we're trying to see how well we can reduce, greenhouse emission in all of our public buses. How do we do that transition into a lot of renewable, buses. But we need to have even the regular power, before we can do all of that. We're renewing infrastructure, new bridges are coming up, new roads are being constructed. On health, we will say that we've done fairly well, even coming out of COVID and how we were able to rescue the country, and all of the additional investments that we've pushed into the health sector, especially, under the One Health coverage, infrastructure, training, capacity development, more health frontline health workers, recruitment and all, and building new, upskills, in that sector. More importantly, it's really around ensuring that we can create an economy where investment is real, where the ease of doing business, both local and foreign, they can believe in the stability of the state. Yes, we're subnational, but we want to continue to remain, the destination of choice, for investors. And so we're open to investment, in new areas, especially in technology, which is one area that we know that all of the unicorns in Africa are here in Lagos, but we want to deepen it because of also the large young population that we'll also have, right? So that for us is a must do.
The Lagos Electricity Market Plan seeks to provide cheaper, cleaner alternative to inadequate grid power and speed up the industrialization plans of the state.
For those who would like to know what is happening around Lagos, well, this is for you. Now, the Lagos State Government has launched the Citizens Gate 2.0 application platform for an all-inclusive governance.
Lagos has a growing population of over 20 million people that requires access to basic amenities such as quality healthcare services, stable electricity supply, road infrastructure, amongst others. A major concern of the state government is how to let the public know what is being done in various sectors. To bridge the communication gap, the Lagos State Government has launched the Citizens Gate 2.0 application platform aimed at bringing governance closer to the people. The Citizens Gate 2.0 is an upgraded app that offers feedback mechanism, population profiling, LASRA registration and verification, and access to day-to-day activities across all state ministries and agencies. To explain more about the initiative, state commissioners and special advisors converge to enlighten the public about the Citizens Engagement Platform.
We expect that the one-stop aspect of the Citizens Gate platform will allow end users to sit comfortably at home or on their handheld mobile device, navigate, connect with all MDAs at a go without any difficulties. This platform has 3 segments, namely Citizens Gate Main, Citizens Gate Young, and Citizens Gate Tertiary. However, we are focusing on the Citizens Gate Main at this soft launch, and the other Citizens Gate platform, which is the Young and Tertiary, will be launched at our main launch. The platform will be made available free for citizens, tourists, friends of Lagos, including people in diaspora, and everyone via Apple App Store, Google Play Store, social media platform, and much more. Studies have shown that Lagos State has a population of over 13 million smartphone users, with 92% accessing the internet via mobile device, which provides the needed traffic for the Citizens Gate application 2.0. It is expected to deliver economic and social benefits to the entire citizens of Lagos State and investors as they drive towards smart city of our dream.
The State Commissioner for Science and Technology says the initiative will help government leverage on technology in all sectors.
We provide the technology platform. We work in the background to make sure that this system will be available. And I can assure you that we have a system that we're starting small and will continue to scale faster. It can take a whole lot of conversation, a whole lot of activities without having to repurpose a server to process all the requests. With this platform, it's been hosted in the cloud, which allows us to move from a very small footprint to a very large footprint, should in case that we need to handle a lot of cases. We're looking forward to this, because it's going to give us the data that we need to plan and also to respond to our citizens.
It's also an opportunity for residents to have accurate information on all ongoing construction projects in the state.
What this will do is not just we kickstarting a process to say this is what we know that is good. There are some things that you might not see. What that Citizen Gate does is it puts you, it alerts you that maybe you have an oversight, something is not in your radar. Please go back here and look. And then the fact that you also have SLAs, you have days that you must resolve some things, it puts everyone under their toes. And for me, as agency heads, it's a good way to also monitor your people. It's not enough that you think that you know it. Yes, you can capture it, but this is a scientific, technical way that does it better.
The Commissioner for Information and Strategy expresses the government's commitment to work with the people through the Citizens Gate 2.0 application to achieve good governance.
It's all about service. What the government is doing, what the people want the government to do, what all of us think that the Lagos of our dream should have. We all need to participate one way or the other, and that is what this Citizens Gate is going to do for us. Besides, it's all about transparency. Government has nothing to hide. Everything that we are doing, we'll have to see. But on our own part, as media people, communication is not complete until you get the feedback. So this is going to be a veritable platform for us to have a feedback from members of the public who we are serving. So for us, it's something that is not just a new, but that will help our job.
Lagos Citizens Gate 2.0 is expected to deliver economic and social benefits to investors and the entire citizens of Lagos State as part of its drive towards achieving a smart city status.
Now we turn our attention to the proposed 4th Mainland Bridge project coming up soon. The Lagos State government says compensation will be paid to all those whose property will be affected by the proposed 4th Mainland Bridge project. Well, this is according to the Special Advisor of Works and Infrastructure, Mrs. Aramide Adeoye, who says the bridge would become the second longest in Africa when it's completed.
Third Mainland Bridge is the longest bridge in Lagos State connecting the island to mainland. According to the State Ministry of Works, the Third Mainland Bridge is said to be the busiest road in the country, with over 180,000 daily vehicular traffic. The 10-kilometer bridge, opened in 1990 by former President Ibrahim Babangida, stretches from Orunshoki linking Apapa Oshodi Expressway, Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, and terminates at the Adeniji-Adele interchange on Lagos Island. The Third Mainland Bridge, which is an essential part of Lagos daily commuting, is already caving in, requiring constant rehabilitation, which has been carried out by the state government. For over 30 years of its existence, the bridge is already losing its grip and perhaps needs an alternative. The Lagos State government is already working towards that line of constructing a 4th Mainland Bridge as an option for residents on the island and mainland. Some residents are excited about the upcoming project.
It's going to be a good project, a good getaway plan for traffic in Lagos State, because 3rd Mainland Bridge is overburdened now. Then with that 4th Mainland Bridge added, a lot of traffic will be removed from that 3rd Mainland Bridge, and it will movement in Lagos State very well. We pray it can be effectively put.
Having seen the draft, that was presented to us, by Governor Sanwo Olu, I think it's an excellent idea that is past due. We're hopeful that they will implement and get it under construction as fast as possible with the least amount of inconvenience to the population. And we're hoping that with the 4th Mainland Bridge, it will open up parts of, the east side of Lagos, as well as the Ikorodu axis, And we hope that the governor will provide accommodations for the people who will be displaced, but also open more opportunities for private developers to develop that part of Lagos. So it is a welcome achievement, and we're hopeful that that will be just one of the other many bridges that Lagos needs so that there's always an escape route for us other than Third Mainland Bridge.
It's a good idea. It's long overdue, at least to be able to connect people from Far Ikorodu to other part of Lagos. I think it's a good thing. And it's also going to ease some of the traffic that we have. Of course, considering that Lagos is itself overpopulated, and having to transit from other part of Lagos to the island and back, it's a good thing.
The Special Advisor on Works and Infrastructure, Mrs. Aramide Adeoye, explains the process of selecting a bidder for the project.
We started this journey in 2019. How did we advertise? We ensured that it was an international journal, engineering news all over, worldwide. And we said we'll be doing this bridge construction work in Nigeria. A lot of people, that was November, a lot of people, they were surprised to say, this is the first time this is happening. Most times it happens under hush-hush tones. You select who you think will be. It has never been. So that was the first test. The second test was the exact submission date. It was strictly done that even a lot of people missed out because they were 1 minute late than the closure time in the bid box. It was that strict. The third thing was every step of the way, we kept coming back to the public to say, this is where we are. We decided we would have a 6-step process towards this bid, towards the closure of the Fourth Mainland Bridge. So the expression of interest is the first stage. The request for qualifiers, for questions is the second stage. The request for proposals is the next stage, which is the third one. The evaluation of the bids with the set criteria and guidelines will be the fourth one. The fifth one will be you getting a draft MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with the terms on it. What will be the concession period? For how long? Will there be extra sweeteners in the corridor to reduce the thing? What will be the tolling price? Mix it with possible, you forecast growth in volumes. Yes, you have this traffic now. If it grows to this one. So we did the financial viability and then agree on something. So short MOU, do the draft, and then get the assembly, the EXCO first to approve, the State Executive Council to look at it. If it's okay, pass it on. Assembly also looks at it. And finally, we can have a final draft, a final agreement that we can all sign off, and then the contractor knows he has this agreement, and then we can break grounds and go to work. So that exactly is where we are now. We're about to get into stage 5. At the end of stage 5 is the construction. So that's essentially what this project has taken in the last 2 years.
She also assures property owners who will be affected by the Fourth Mainland Bridge construction of full compensation.
You also asked the vital question to say, where will this construction work be passing through, and what will be the compensation plan? So it's intended as a 37-kilometer road. There's a road component and there's a bridge starting on the northern side through the lagoon water into the mainland. So you take off from Ibrahim Adesoya, you go through Ajabadore, Langbasa, you go through Bayeku, you come out at Konu Areko side, and then you take the back of Sparklight and come out at the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. So at some point in time, we will be getting into the border of Ogun State. And so Ogun State is a stakeholder in this thing. But the good thing is, there is the Ogun State Development, Lagos-Ogun, we have a joint development border commission, so you're able to, it makes discussions a lot easier. And so they are good stakeholders to this project. And whatever happens here is good also for Ogun State in developing the the border mega towns between us. You've also asked about compensation plans. So we have a resettlement action plan, aside from the environmental impact assessment that you've done, that the Federal Ministry of Environment has signed off. One of the reasons why this takes up to 2 years is in getting your EIA certificate, you'll have to do a lot of studies over cycle, wet season, dry season, and that spans across the 2 years. So you just don't do the studies one in one dry season. You have to go on to the next year. So that's important. The route alignments, there were 16 route alignments that were selected. So in deciding this 37-kilometer long road, of which 4.5 is the bridge over water and 32 is the road. Deliberately, to reduce the amount of structures that will be affected, the routes that were selected, you will see mostly they're not going through houses. They're going through the swamp, just so going through the swamp to minimize. It's about the best that you can do. And that has reduced the structures that are affected to barely 800. One thing this administration has done is, even with the red line and the blue line, to say the compensation, pay the people, particularly the red line, pay people immediately. So this project is also one of such, that you pay people. I'm sure you were at the commissioning ceremony to take off for the red line. You saw the checks that were displayed, immediately take and move. So that's the kind of thing that you also have in this place. The construction period is expected to be 42 months from the date of financial close, 42 months. So of course you will have, in that 42 months, early works. You have initial early work site installation that can take 4 to 6 months. But the real construction work is 42 months. If you have a serious contractor, you can actually, that 42 months can be bridged, depending on the equipment manpower deployation. You can work from two ends and you can bridge that. Lagos stands to benefit a lot. You live in Lagos. And the three major bridges that go on the island, mainly Eco Bridge, Kata Bridge, and the Third Mainland Bridge, their service levels are ranging close to F now. Every day when you commute, you are on bumper to bumper. So what that tells you is not rocket science. You need to expand your roads. Though I keep saying you can never outbuild enough roads for Lagos. What we need to do is to invest in our waterways and make commuting easier. Have an integrated modal transport system. That is actually the solution to the gridlock. And so we need to be pragmatic. In a period where we're still doing this and we're still using road as an alternative now, while we deliberately work towards that intermodal transport system, we need to be able to build parallel networks. The good thing I keep telling people is Lagos has a strategic transport master plan. You pick it, you know exactly where you're connecting. Since you have hit this serviceability, you need to do this one that connects to this so that you reduce the average daily traffic volumes on this to move on to take on to this. The studies have been done over time extensively. And it's about time now that even from the Lagos Development Plan 2032 to 2052, you will see exactly what we must do. It's stated there that as a must, we must build the sets of infrastructure to build in the short term, in the medium term, and the long term, as stated in that development plan. And the Fourth Mainland Bridge is one of them. It's no accident, it's no rocket science. That corridor is the next Lagos. The central Lagos is built up, capacity-wise. And so you need to spread out on the Lagos east side and on the Lagos west side. And I employ people to get a copy of that development plan because it enables you to have insight as to what government is thinking and how we're thinking of developing this state. So I think that answers your question. As to what would benefit, there are several. One thing is this: you will improve the socioeconomic benefits of well-being of Lagosians. You will indeed live better livable conditions of life. That's the traffic in itself is horrendous and hellish, and we need not go through that. It's unfortunate, the Third Mainland Bridge, several 30 years, 1990, it was open 1990, so 32 years ago, we built the Third Mainland Bridge. The Institute of Civil Engineers, they classified the Third Mainland Bridge as one of those projects that radically changed the face of Lagos. The IC publication, 100 years of IC, Third Mainland Bridge was recognized as one of those projects that radically changed transportation in Lagos. The worldwide, so that's something that they take statistics, and that's why Third Mainland Bridge featured in that IC publication. The Fourth Mainland Bridge is like an M ring, is like London's M25. It's like a ring, because sometimes when you're going to Ikorodu, instead of a long route that you take, you see somebody who is leaving Island or leaving Aja, who wants to go to Ikorodu, but because he has no other alternative, it begins to meander, either whether he will go first, Osborne, come out. If you take from that place where you are, you hit it on the Fourth Mainland Bridge, you need not go through, so you leave all of these other bridges and you face where you are going. The other thing it will do also, it will reduce the journey time of the Lagos-Abuja highway route. So your living conditions get improved, you improve socioeconomic benefits, you create alternatives for people, you have also to be able to real estate around there. So housing is also something that you will improve on there. You will also be able to make sure that your engineers, because you have, in the ultimate run, you will create employment for people. Because the construction work, you will need first even the site to acquire, the people to employ, the cement that they will procure, the steel. You get so, Infrastructure is an enabler anywhere. The people who would work around there will be employed. For the engineers who are under training in universities, so you develop a new set of, you are able to train new sets of engineers, which is what we're lacking.
The proposed public-private partnership transport infrastructure development comes with a cost of about $2.5 billion, and Governor Babajide Sanwo Olu says the project will be flagged off soon.
In the next couple of months, we're going to be doing massive groundbreaking for the 4th Mainland Bridge. And you know that the 4th Mainland Bridge is coming all the way from Ajah, and it'll be batting just behind you here. It's like an M25 road, and the first phase of it will be landing on Shagamu-Ikorodu Express Road, which will be the first phase, which is about 27 kilometers all the way from Lagos, all the way from Ajah on the island, and it will be a major artery. The phase 2 of it will be from that junction all the way to Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. So that is what we're committed to, and that is what we're doing. If we can get that done, which by the grace of God we will push and complete in this our second administration, then you know that Ikorodu has completely opened up to the entire world.
The 37-kilometer bridge and road components, which will take off from Abraham Adesoya in Ekpe, connecting Ikorodu and ending at Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, is expected to be completed in the next 4 years.
And this is where we call it a day on this week's edition of the program Dateline Lagos. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Ayotunde Balugum. Until we come your way again next time, remember to please stay safe. Bye for now.